Welcome to a short video introducing a pretty radical prayer intensive, Praying in the Dark. How visionaries pray in a time of collapse. You might be one of those visionaries. And that means this video is for you. I'm Janet Connor, prayer artist, mystic, witch, and firekeeper. And here's an important piece of information. You hear me say, I'm a prayer artist, but when prayer artist came for me in 2018, she came for you too. Hundreds of you have come to, I don't know how many prayer intensives friends and I have offered since 2018. Prayer dropped gift after gift after gift in my heart, in your hearts. But her biggest gift of all, I'm realizing now, is the night she woke me and said, listen carefully, it wasn't a power structure. It was a reverence structure. Listen again. It wasn't a power structure. It was a reverence structure. Now, I didn't really know what that meant, but the word reverence kind of landed and cracked me open, and I grabbed it and began to talk about her garden of reverence. And even though I didn't understand exactly why, we began to say in every single intensive I offered, we'd put our hands together like this and say, her garden of reverence now returns in and through and as us. We have been saying that for 8 years. And at last, I think, we understand what it means. Here's another little tidbit. You heard me say that I'm a mystic witch. Witch came for me in 2020. You may not have known it, but witch came for you too. So I picked up that thread. If I didn't understand what witch meant, rest assured, if I didn't understand what prayer meant, rest assured I had no idea what witch meant, but I picked up the thread anyway. And here is how witch has been carrying me and you ever since. My very first witch event in 2021 was guided by my beloved Joan of Arc, The Return of the Witches. You see the beautiful painting Lori Sweet made for that intensive? In The Return of the Witches, Jeanne d'Arc listening pilgrimage, we met 13 witches, one a week for 13 weeks, across 3,000 years and half the globe. We heard their stories, their unbelievable stories. We mourned their abuse, and we prayed so hard to cut the patriarchal cords that trapped them, but also trapped their abusers. When it ended, after 13 weeks, I didn't know if anything else could happen. It felt so intense, so big, so beautiful. But by the following January, I knew that the Return of the Witches was a beginning, not an ending. In January of 2022, Joan of Arc returned, this time to hand us the seeds of what became Remembering the Songlines of the Witches. Remembering the Songlines of the Witches was a year-long mystery school. But this time, we didn't just meet 11 witches or hear their 11 stories. This time, we met them at such a deep level that they gave us, each of them, one of 11 really intense medicines. Medicines like speak truth and speak now. Own your creativity. Remember your sovereignty. Show your true face. That's just 4 of very intense medicines. And at the end of the year, it culminated in receiving our medicine, personal witch medicine. My medicine is I sing the song of the whole and holy witch. And indeed, that is what I have been doing and will be doing for the rest of my life. I sing the song of the whole and holy witch. As big as Songlines was, and it was big, it too was a preparation, a beginning, not an ending. The following year, spring of 2023, my mystic witch sister and partner in creating all things witch, Kathy Stevens Pratt, and I opened Mystica University. We wanted to offer a really fun intensive, the art of becoming a witch, how to awaken, remember, and trust your body's natural intuitive senses. But about 3 weeks into this 77-day intensive, we suddenly realized, wait a second, there are 7 witch arts, not 1. And big surprise, we are awakening them as we walk the most ancient labyrinth, the Paleolithic 7-circuit labyrinth, the original labyrinth, the labyrinth of the womb of the goddess. We have been walking that labyrinth for 3.5 years, activating full body intuition, threshold crossing, original prayer, myrrh for anointing, divination, devotion, and dragon. Something happened in the 4th witch art, the green path you see there. In this 4th intensive, to awaken the memory of myrrh for anointing, we met Mary Magdalene. We met Mary Magdalene in a way that none of us knew was possible. The Magdalene revealed that she is way more than one woman in 1st century Palestine. Magdalene is the red thread of the Myrrhophore lineage, a lineage that goes back in time to the Neolithic, even to the Paleolithic, matrifocal, matrilocal, matrilineal times, the time before patriarchy, the time of the goddess, the time of living in reverence in matriarchal communities. Whether you were in Art 4 or not, she handed you then and is handing you now the red thread of memory. Magdalene is inviting every one of us to remember our natural state of living in reverence and devotion. She handed that red thread to Kathy and me, and we took it and we followed it to create Art 5 on divination. Everyone has the natural ability of divination. And Art 6 on reverence and devotion, where we traveled back to the matriarchal times to remember what in truth we never really forgot during patriarchies. The knowledge, the wisdom, the prayers, the reverence, it's all there. It's all there in you and in me. It is alive in our memories. We are carrying the echoes of a world of reverence, before patriarchy, the pink. And this is what's so important. Whether you know it or not, you have been carrying that memory of a world of reverence for 5,000 years through the suffering of patriarchy, the gray. And this is what really matters. We are carrying it right now. We are carrying echoes, memories of the time of reverence before patriarchy into the green. This is the time of her garden of reverence. But that world, that garden of reverence, her garden of reverence, is not going to grow by itself. It is we, each one of us. It is we who bring our unique and sacred gifts to the garden. It is we, each one of us, whether you were in any of my prayer or witch events or not, we are all called to plant our gifts and cultivate them in her garden of reverence. Kathy created this magnificent timeline to help us see and remember and smell and hear and feel the matriarchal way of life with harmony and peace, and realize that this living memory inside every single one of us is far more ancient than patriarchal religion. And it helps us see that patriarchy can end, and indeed it is collapsing, and it is collapsing now. We call this timeline the song of the morning of the world. Look at it. Look at this incredible image of 40,000 years of life on this beautiful blue planet. And listen. Open your subtle ears and listen to echoes of the song of the morning of the world. As you're looking at this and listening to its aliveness, did you notice that the thread that is carrying us and has always carried us through the matriarchal once was, the now, the time period of patriarchal suffering, and the beautiful green, vibrant not yet, that thread interwoven is both red and green. Follow it with your eyes, starting with the snake in the far left, the original symbol of the goddess. Follow it. Red, green, red, green, cresting and flowing. And although we think we can't see it, it's flowing underneath the dead zone of patriarchy and then emerging in all of its glory in her garden of reverence. Why is it green and red? It's green because green is aliveness. Green is Mother Earth in her fullness. Green is Mother Gaia. Green is growth, is growing, is spring. Red has incredible deep meaning. Red is, of course, think of Magdalene handing us the red thread. Red is the beautiful Muraphor lineage that, whether you have ever identified as a Muraphor or not, you carry this red thread. But it is also, and our ancestors knew this not just 40,000 years ago, but 50, 75, 100,000 years ago. Red is the life-giving power of feminine blood. Red and green, they both represent life. So the question is, how do we grow her garden? How do we grow her garden when, of course, we can see that patriarchy is dying, patriarchy is collapsing, and make certain when you register that you listen to the videos about the astrology. The astrology is so profound, and we are living in a time of astrology that has never happened before. We're pretty sure it happened in that pink section, but current astrologers have never been able to track what is happening right now, because this is the summer and the 2-year time period, 2026 to 2028, of the time of our collapse. That terrifies some people, but it doesn't terrify us, because we know that X, we know this is where we are. We know it's time to celebrate the collapse of patriarchy. But we also know we are in the dark. Think back to that X. We are in the dark. We can't see. I know the green is there. I know that prayer artist and mystic witch have been leading me all these years, starting with writing down your soul in 2009. Everything has been going to finding and nurturing and cultivating whatever talents, prayer, witch, miraphor, lineage, all of that is all about cultivating her garden of reverence. We know it's there, but if we simply look at the world around us, if we open the newspaper, if we open social media, it just seems like it's so dark, it's so hard, it's so ugly, and it is. But we who remember the echoes of the song of the morning of the world, we who hear the echoes of the garden of reverence, yes, you can hear the future, we are coming together in an intensive unlike anything I've ever created or anyone anywhere has ever created. Praying in the dark, how visionaries pray in a time of collapse. Well, how do they pray? Well, they're not going to in any way, shape, or form touch any patriarchal religion or prayers, right? So what are we going to do for these 4 incredible weeks starting in mid-July? We're going to pray on the very first rosary that is completely untethered from religion. There is not the slightest taint of any patriarchal religion, any theology, anything that you, no matter what religions you grew up in or didn't grow up in, still it's in the air, right? We're swimming in it. Well, my beloved witch sister, Kathy Stevens Pratt, has created the very first rosary that is completely untethered from religion. So look who's here. Our guides are Minotaur. You will meet Minotaur. And Hecate. She goes way back to the beginning of that pink section. And do you know what Hecate can do? She can see in the dark. She is the goddess at the crossroads. There we are at that X. We're on the crossroads. And for me, because everybody gets to add whatever they like, look who has to be my guide here, my beloved Joan. And there's also a B on the way. And everybody gets to add whatever, whoever they like. And Kathy so carefully, ethically sourced these beads. Do you notice how they're not uniform? They are organic. When I touched this for the very first time and put it on my body, the first word that rose without thought was, this is feral. This is wild. This is a lie. Now, you do not have to purchase the rosary. You can count on your hands, but everybody is frantically running to order the journal she created, the banner of the Song of the Morning of the World, and this incredible rosary, which, by the way, we will be praying on through the entire period of collapse through the end of 2028. This is not a rosary just for our 4 weeks together. So, are you one of the visionaries? Are you grabbing Mary Magdalene's red thread? Or are you just going, I don't know what this is, I don't know what this is, but my body is going, I need to do something to participate in the collapse of patriarchy without collapsing myself, and bring my gifts, whatever they may be, to cultivate her garden of reverence. Join us in Praying in the Dark, how visionaries pray, how you pray, how I pray in a time of collapse.